Today we're going to work on pointillism like the artist George Seurat did. So we're going to work on a much smaller piece of paper. We're not going to worry about the background, and we're going to pick a simple subject such as some fruit, or in our case, fake fruit. And what you get is what you get. You're not going to complain. So whatever object you have on your table is what you're going to try to draw. And I've shown you this before, but your best bet when you're trying to draw an object like this, do not attempt to trace it. What you want to do is look at the object, and you can always hold your pencil in the air and kind of trace the shape of the object. And that helps you get a feel for where your lines should be going on your page. And it's always best to start out with a generic sketch first, and then you get more specific. Like, I know an apple is narrower at the bottom than it is at the top. And after I have the generic sketch done, then I can get more specific. I see a little bump at the back. It goes in. There's a stem. It's bigger at the top and gets narrower. There's a bump at the bottom. And erase any lines that you don't really need. Keep the important ones. Then we're going to start our pointillism. And in our case, we're using Q-tips and colored paint. So, it's an apple. It's red. I want to start out with red dots all over the sky. So, poke yourself some dots. And reload as needed. Alright, I have red dots everywhere, and remember to make dots you're bouncing up and down, no smearing, because there is no smearing in George Seurat's work. It looks flat as a pancake though, because the whole thing is just red. So that's where you have to look at your object and see where the lighter areas are. Like there's a little bit of yellow and orange inside this apple. So I can take a Q-tip of a different color and add that in there. And it's okay to overlap them. And then look for other areas that may have a little bit of highlight to them, and you can add that to your apple. I added some light areas where you can see reflection from the lights in the ceiling. I added a little bit of orange to one side to lighten it up. Then we need a little bit of shadow on the apple itself. So whatever object you have, that's where you look at the color wheel, find the main color of your object, and then find what's beside it that's darker that makes the most sense. So my apple is red. The main color beside it that's darker that makes sense would be purple. So I can take purple and add a few dots, not get carried away, to create a little bit of a shadow on the opposite side of the orange. And then also we have a little bit of a shadow on the table created by the apple. So we can use the purple and throw in just a few dots of black in a minute. And that creates a shadow under the object that should be shaped like the object. If you have a banana, it should be shaped like a banana, not an apple. And I can add a few dots of black closest to our apple. And last but not least, it's got a stem. I can't forget the stem. So I need to make a few dots for the stem. Add a little bit of shadow to that too with the black. And we need a name and a glass. And then it goes on the drying rack and it's done.